Okay. Welcome everybody. We're going to call the meeting to order. If we can do we do that later? Yeah, we'll do that later. We want to move into executive session. Evaluation of officials, employees, MRSA 4056A. May I have a motion? And second? Okay, and second by Jamie. All in favor? Okay, so we're going to move into executive session, have the discussion, then we'll come back for our general session after that. Thank you. We good? All right. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming in. First thing we have to do is I need a motion to get us out of executive session. Okay. Second. Okay, Anita and Megan. Thank you. All in favor? Okay, so we're out of executive session. Now we're returning to general session, which means, as always, we start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. So a lot of comments. I just want to, obviously, end of the school year, graduation, all the stuff that happened. That was good. That was awesome. But I just wanted to comment and thank everybody from, the fire chief, chief of police, Booth, to Jennifer McKay and all of her staff, to Patrick and Katie and all the administrators that helped out, but just very impressed with the Dyke Knoll staff and Jennifer, her beautiful report that moved us all, that she gave us about what happened and how everyone responded to the crisis situation. I just wanted to publicly thank them. And, words fall short. I mean, her report, she really should just make public because it was just so good. In praising all of her staff and all the hard work that happened and how everyone came together. I just can't say enough about it. I know Patrick will be commenting later on, where we're at and what the process is going forward about everything. But on behalf of the board, just we're so proud to be board members of such a great faculty and staff. We just can't say enough about it. And with that, I'd like to hand it over to Patrick for a couple of announcements.
So we have a few people we'd like to recognize tonight. The first one isn't here, but and I should have done this in May, knowing that graduation was coming, and that if I were him, I wouldn't come to this meeting either if I didn't need to. So Jonah, who's here, he's not here tonight, but he's been a great student board member. I think I sent him something back at Christmas time, thanking him for being so conscientious, for being so professional. Really just had a nice pulse on the student body here at the high school. Very conscientious when he couldn't make a meeting, but also just he would often make comments after giving it a lot of thought, and very mature beyond his years, and has a very bright future next year at the University of Maine. And we hope that he'll stay in touch. So thank you, Jonah, if you're out there listening. Next, Vita's here tonight, and she's training Kim Burgess, and Kim will be the new Vita. And so just would like to thank Vita. I know we've done this before, but while she's here, I'd like to thank her for just her tireless work ethic, her professionalism, keeping me in line, but just knowing the history of the district, has been a secretary in one of our schools and then moved up to the central office, and is just very thorough, attention to detail, and just a pleasure to work with. So we're certainly going to miss your sense of humor, miss your laugh in the office, and thank you for everything you've done for the district. We have I'll give this to you afterwards. You don't have to get up. And then lastly, Bill Perkins this is his last meeting. And Bill, we certainly are going to miss him. I meant to do my homework. And Vita, I don't know if Bill, how many years have you been on the board? 10. Okay. I was going to say 9 or 10. Yeah. And Bill has just been a pleasure to work with as a former educator. He gets it. He's very sensitive, conscientious, and every single decision that he makes is in the best interest of students and staff. He often jokes about his age, but I hope when I'm his age that I still have the wit and the intelligence and the advice that he provides, and nobody can beat his sense of humor. When you're having a down day, something's not going right. I mean, he always has a line to bring you back to reality. And so, Bill, thank you for everything. And we have a few things for you, a couple things on hold, but we got a couple gifts for you, and I want to give you this card as well. Other board members, feel free to chime in if you'd like.
Okay, I got to give a speech now. That was awfully nice of you, Patrick. I'm going to miss the fact that she's not going to be there to laugh at my jokes, because on a really down day for me, all I had to do was call the office, get Vita on the phone, and I could say almost anything. She'd laugh like crazy. She has a great laugh. You're right, boss. I didn't know what to expect when I came on the board here. You know, nobody else wanted the job down in Phipsburg. Betsy Varian was here for one term, and then I came on board because nobody else ran, and nobody else has run for the last 10 years. So you were kind of stuck with me. I go into the town manager, it was Mike Young at the time. I'd say, anybody take out papers? And he'd say, no. I'd say, well, wait till the last day and then I'll submit mine. But if somebody comes along and they look good to you, just let me know. Not that I didn't want to be here, but my background is in football. I yelled terrific at halftime, but I haven't done any yelling here. I'm out of practice. I didn't know what to expect, but what has come to pass for me has been an experience, one of the finest experiences of my long life. Under Patrick's leadership, this school district has come to mean a great deal to me. The people in it have come to mean a great deal to me. And the way that they have, I had great faith in them. And then all of a sudden, we had the worst pandemic since 1918. And they handled it like the professionals that they are. It was wonderful. And now we've had another crisis this spring. And again, everyone has come together and worked together as a team under the leadership of our ad team. Great people. So thank you for thanking me, but I thank you for what you've done for the kids in the lower Saginaw, whatever we are. It's terrific. Thank you, Pat.
That's great. Thank you, Bill. And thank you, Vita. I'm going to miss you and have so much fun with your family. And I'll find Jonah on the streets of Bath this summer. But Bill, thank you for everything. Really appreciate it. I've learned a lot working with you, and it's been a lot of fun. So thank you.
Vita, leave your phone number at home just in case I need somebody to laugh at a joke. All right. Okay.
All right. Anybody else want to chime in on anything? All right. Let's get to our minutes. We have what, 2 sets, right? Am I reading that correctly? So 2 sets of minutes. Would anyone like a motion to approve or any suggestions for edits?
I move to approve them both as written.
Okay. Nita?
I believe there's a typo on the 23rd one under public comment, just the name.
Oh, that's not how you spell it, is it? I think it's, I don't have the card. Is it, and
It's correct later.
oh, okay. So we can correct that. Oh, it's the first. No, actually, any LON is the right one.
Yeah, we can make.
So we'll just correct that. Okay. So with that correction, anything? You accept the correction, Jamie, and for the motion? Can I get a second? Megan? All right, all in favor? All right, minutes passed. Thank you. Any adjustments to the agenda, Patrick?
We just have 2 additional nominations that I gave you hard copies at your table tonight, so we can just add those to
To
13.2A.
13.2A?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I can do just a Dyke Newell update under my report, so we don't have to really change the agenda.
Okay, that sounds good. Fantastic. Okay, 8.0 public session. Anyone here? No. Okay, 9.0, committee reports, updates. Katie.
I'm still recovering because Bill made me cry, which takes a lot, Bill. My report is just quickly about the end of the year and kind of what's next for next year. So we ended with our first year fully of using the Linkit data collection system. And so essentially what that means is I know one of the goals for this year was thinking about response to intervention and RTI, and we've been trying to better track how students are doing over time. And so this program is allowing us to put all the information we've had in so many different places in one spot and kind of graph how students are doing. We've had the interventionists and some of the teachers piloting using this. So all of our benchmark assessments for reading are in there, and students who are in intervention are in there. And now with this new RTI coordinator position, we'll actually have someone who can look through everything that's in there, see students who might be falling through the cracks, and then be able to ensure they're getting connected with the right people for that to be addressed, which is really exciting. And so, Beth Kaiser, who's the new RTI coordinator, and myself have a couple of meetings with this company again this week, but we think everything will be up and running and sort of revamped for the full rollout next year for everybody to be using from the start of the year, which is really exciting. The other piece I just wanted to talk about was, I know for professional development, for planning ahead for next year, I've already spoke about our work with Maine Math and Science that's going to be happening for K-8 for math. But for the whole district, Patrick, have you shared about the DEI work in full in writing with them at all yet?
Not really. We
Okay.
talked about it a little bit tonight, actually, before this meeting, but
Oh, you did?
a little bit.
Okay, great. I just didn't want to be too repetitive if he had already written to you. So we do have the consultant, the It's Time, and we'll be working with him on various initiatives to make sure with diversity, equity, inclusion, we're moving forward in the right direction. And so that will include various groups for the administrative team, a larger district group, work with the teachers. And then I also wanted to invite the board. We'll be having sort of an open book club starting in the winter with various reads that the community will be able to be a part of, sort of like what's happened with the Humanities Council and other towns are doing such things. And so I'll be able to share more information on that coming soon, and we can publicize that a bit as well. So I think between, continuing with response to intervention, the new math focus, and diversity, equity, inclusion, those are the three big initiatives that are kind of on the docket for our district to focus on for next year. That's it.
Great. Thank you, Katie. Any questions for Katie? Okay. Thanks for the report. We don't have student board reps right now. Superintendent's report, 11.0.
So I just wanted to share with you that the slate of 2023 Maine Teacher of the Year semifinalists were announced recently, and pleased to announce that Katie Clark is one of those semifinalists, which is great. And so the next step in the process is to participate in presentations, panels, portfolios this summer. And the semifinalists will give, as an example, will give a 10-minute mock keynote speech. They'll have to participate in an expert panel discussion on instruction, educational policy, and teacher leadership. And they also have to submit a portfolio that's based on the National Teacher of the Year application. So not much of a summer break for Katie Clark, but we're certainly very proud of her. So I'll keep you updated as they go through the process. Graduation, a lot of you were there. I think it was a wonderful event. As Eric stated to you in his report, our graduation is, I think, special and unique because it's almost completely run by the graduates, and it's really for the graduates. Speeches were great. It was just a nice way to end the year. Part of that graduation, just a congratulations to Katrina Barter for the Patricia Ames Award. It's called the Teacher of the Year, but Katrina taught us a lot and got us through the pandemic and helped Morris and Bath Tech, but also the entire district. This is always something I like to mention every year, and it was in Eric's report, but we were able to award 82 scholarships managed by the Alumni Scholarship Fund, totaling around $294,000. And in addition to these scholarships, through the generous donations of area businesses, elementary school groups, private funds, families, and statewide national college scholarships, we're able to announce an additional 62 scholarships, totaling approximately $508,000. So the total that we gave out at awards night was over $800,000 of scholarship money. So that's it for good news. And then just kind of a quick update on the Dyke Newell situation is that we do have obviously have insurance. Insurance company has been out to Dyke Newell, and we've been out there nonstop since the fire. And as of right now, it's been determined by our insurance carrier that the K1 wing is salvageable, and but everything else in that building, which is over half of it, has been ruled a total loss. And so hopefully by the end of this week, we will get some figures that will go with, from the insurance company, so we can begin to, look at this in two different sections, I guess. One is we have to make some decisions about next fall of where the students will be as we have opening day. And then the longer term discussion is to talk about, if we have to rebuild over half of that school, and our ultimate goal is to possibly combine Fisher Mitchell and Dyke Newell into a brand new facility at some point. Does it make sense to look longer term at the same time? So we do have a meeting with the Department of Education later this week to talk about those longer term. As far as short term, just so that people can have an idea, is that what we're exploring is, is it possible? We're looking into portables. Is that possible, feasible? Also looking at different facilities, either within the district or within the community, that might be able to house all of our students as a temporary fix. So again, we're going to be working quickly on this as far as a short-term solution involving the board, but also involving some staff at Dyke Newell, and probably have a small committee that will work on this as well. But that's about all the details that we have at this point. So I don't know if board members have any specific questions about Dyke Newell right now, but I would echo what Lou had to say. I mean, the first responders, the organizations, that there's too many to thank that have reached out, but the Dyke Newell staff, the district staff, really all that people did, West Bath, Georgetown, YMCA, NYC, just all the outpouring of support. And the last week of school, thanks to Dyke Newell, was successful. So.
Any questions or comments about Patrick's report? Thank you for that. And yeah, we'll just be looking forward to, we know there's going to be, many meetings this summer to make sure we get everyone as soon as possible, the families, so they know, where they're going to be and for day one, like you said. Thank you. Financial report, Deb.
We'll be spending more money. Right. So just to let you know, so tonight we're looking at, in your packet is the end of May. But today, because we don't have, today, actually, I was able to finish up the accruals for June. So we should have a little bit of a balance at the end of the year, less than 1%, but at least we're going to make it through, which I was, starting to get a little nervous about that one. Transportation and operation and maintenance will be a negative amount. But like we've talked about before, overall, we should be, make it within our budget amount. So that's good news. So we had a successful budget for fiscal year 23, and you folks will be signing those declaration of votes tonight. So that's a good thing. We're finalizing the end of the year with all the retirees and payroll processes to pay everybody for this year. And most of our positions are filled. We've had about 15 new bodies but we've had a lot of employees that have moved around in different positions. So we've had about 23 sort of transfers around in different positions. So it's been active there. And we have 18 new custodians. So we have all the paperwork in on those folks. They seem to be pleased to come to work for RSU1. And so we're ready to go with them. As far as the federal grants, the ESSER1 is basically going to be over with by the end of the summer, for paying those final pays. We're finishing up with ESSER2, and I'll try to use up those funds as much as I can before we start with ARP, which will be starting in the fall, and summer school as well. Finally, just to say goodbye to Bill. It's been nice having you. Thank you. Hopefully find somebody in Pittsburgh to fill your spot. And to thank Vita and my cubicle mate. I will miss her and her laugh, but I will have Kim with me now. So that's a good thing. And we're very confident in Kim's abilities. So it'll be a good transition. And that's it. Any questions?
Any questions for Deb? No, thank you,
No?
Deb. I
Okay.
think we're good. Okay, moving right along, we've got old business. We have second reading of board policies. They include compulsory attendance, administration of medication to students, medication administration on school field trips and off-campus events, immunization requirements for students entering RSU1 schools, and communicable infectious diseases. So lots of updates. This is an action item. We had these given to us before. Are there questions on any of the individual ones before we pass them? Is there anything in the new wording or anything that I don't remember from last time there being any real questions? I think they were pretty straightforward. Is everyone okay taking these all together then? All right. May I have a motion?
Move approval.
All right, Bill's motion. Jamie seconds. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor? And they pass. Thank you very much. And thank you to the policy committee for putting all that together. That's always a lot of work. Okay. And now new business personnel items, and I'll give this to you, Patrick.
So first off, under personnel items, we have resignation of Justin Kelleher, Director of Special Services, and I'd like to thank Justin for his service and his leadership to the district. And then the next item, 13.2, we have the nominations, and if it's okay with the group, I'll just go through these as a group as soon as I find them. So the first one is nomination is for Dean of Students at Morse, and its recommended candidate is Matt Hamilton. And we had 8 applications, interviewed 4 people, and interviewing committee you can see there. And so Matt is currently a guidance counselor at Falmouth Middle School, and he also was an administrator at Harpswell Coastal, and he was here as a guidance counselor at BMS a while back. So Matt Hamilton for Dean of Students. Next, we have Carly Brilliant, who we're nominating for science teacher at Morse High School, and we had 4 applications, interviewed 2, and Carly has received her bachelor's degree from the University of Maine. And recently she was a student teacher, a physics teacher at Mount Arrowhead High School, and did her student teaching at Brunswick High School. Next, we have Sharon Pelton, who we're nominating as the new school nurse at Dyke Newell. We interviewed her. We had 1 application for this. She's coming to us. Her education, obviously a master's in nursing, and she has recently been with us for pool testing experience, but also she's been in the private sector in nursing as well. And then health education teacher, Sarah Bingham. We had at Morris High School, we had 3 applications, interviewed 2 people, and Sarah is coming to us from Brunswick Junior High School. And then the 2 that we had, well, Beth Ann is actually listed on your nominations already, but you didn't have the backup. So Beth Ann Nickerson is the nomination for a special ed teacher at Morse. We had 4 applications, interviewed 2, and she is coming from Mount Ararat Middle School and High School in Topsom. And then the last nomination is for a special education director. The recommended candidate is Sarah Rent, and we had 5 applications, interviewed 4 people. And Sarah is in the Lewiston School District, and she's currently an assistant principal at the elementary level. And prior to that, she was an assistant director of special education for Lewiston. That's it.
All right. Thank you. And can we take all these together? May I have a motion?
I move approval of the nominated individuals.
And need a second? Second by Megan. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor? Great, thank you. That passes. Everybody's getting hired. That's great to see. Moving on to the next, approved superintendent's contract for the 2022-2023 school year. Action item. We need a motion.
I move to approve the superintendent's contract for 2022-2023 pursuant to the terms discussed in the executive session.
Great. May I have a second? Second by Bill. Any further discussion? All in favor? And you're stuck with us another year, Patrick. All right. Congratulations. Let's see. And now 13.4, approve the computation and declaration of votes of the June 14th budget referendum. What kind of motion do we just need?
Just a
Motion to approve the computation?
At the end of the meeting, we'll have you sign this.
Right, okay. So I need a motion to approve these. These are the results. I'll take a look at them if you haven't already. And when someone's ready, you can move. Go ahead.
I move to approve the computation of declaration of votes for the June 14th, 2022 budget referendum.
Great, thank you, Jamie. You have a second? Megan seconds. Any further discussion or questions regarding this? No? All in favor? And it's approved. Thank you. Good to see the budget pass. And now 13.5, authorize the superintendent to hire staff over the summer on the board's behalf so he doesn't have to call you up at night and say, what do you think of this person? May I have a motion, please?
I move to authorize the superintendent to hire staff
Great,
over the summer.
sounds good. Second?
I'll second.
And second by Jamie. Any further discussion? All in favor? Thank you very much. So now Patrick can do what he needs to do. There's a typo on here. Obviously, next meeting's not today. But will be, when is it?
I think it's August 22nd.
So right now, it looks like August 22nd. We know with everything going on with Dyke Newell, there'll most likely be some other meeting, but we don't know when yet, and that's fine. We'll play it by ear. But that's our next one. Is there any further questions, discussions on anything? Then may I have a motion to adjourn? All in favor? All right, we are adjourned. I'm going to pass around one to sign. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for taking the time. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we just need